Nigeria Kenemuno. Ndimo Ekenemuno. The America high. The America high. I know you guys will be thinking, who is this guy from Germany standing here? You know? I'm not a German. I'm from the biggest country in Africa. Right? And we are here to mark a very important occasion. Being a jubilarian, 25 years of being a priest. He can say the mass right now with his eyes closed. He wake up in the night, he can say the mass. 25 years. I am excited, I'm pumped to be here with you. I am pumped because my own senior brother is a Reverend Father. And I can tell you, if it's not because of my senior brother, I probably would be smoking like I'm on fire right now and drinking like I'm trying to put out the fire. But when I started, he said, no, we can't do this, you know. And that was so many years ago. So the first time I tried it, he put me by the side and said, people will look at you and think I am the one smoking or I am the one drinking. So, and anything I do now, I do it to at least to make him proud of me. So, we're going to be directing the flow of the traffic, two of us. My name is Oke Obaka. My baptismal name is Joseph. So I'm Joseph Oke Obaka. So piloting the affairs with Mike. With Mike. I want to start with a story. I like stories. You see, I read a story about 4 Christian women. You know, a little bit elderly, right? And they got together like on Mother's Day, and they were all bragging about their children. One said, you know, my son is a priest. Whenever he walks in, everybody calls him father. The second person stood up and said, my son is a Monsignor. Whenever he walks in, everybody calls him His Grace. The third woman stood up and said, my son is also a bishop. When he walks into the hall, everybody calls him His Excellency. Now the fourth woman said, my son is 6'4" tall. He's really handsome. He looks like he's from the magazine. Very handsome. When he walks into the room, all the ladies shout, oh my God. Thank you.
Thank you, okay. Wonderful MC. I want to thank all of you for joining us in the second liturgy of the evening, the liturgy of the stomach. As I told you, we have a lot for all of us to enjoy. So, thank you for being here. Please don't be a guest lady.
Ole, Igwe, ole, Igwe, ole, Igwe, ole. Chineke mo Igwe mamara, Okaka, mere mamara. Ole bekama, anyway kama. Ole bekama, anyway kama. Igwe kama. Igwe, Igwe, Igwe. Igwe Chineke mo Igwe mere mamara, Okaka Igwe mere mamara, ole bekama, Igwe kama, Igwe kama, Igwe kama, Igwe kama. omemma gbadata nara ekele n'ezuru keme omemma gbadata nara ekele n'ezuru keme gbadata nara ekele omemma gbadata nara ekele n'ezuru keme omemma gbadata nara ekele n'ezuru keme gbadata yoto aka omemma gbadata nara ekele n'ezuru keme gbadata nara ekele Mama Jesus, take it Mama Jesus, take it Jesus, Mama Jesus, take it Jesus, Mama Jesus, take it Jesus, Mama Jesus, Jesus, Mama Jesus, take it Mama Jesus, take it Jesus, Mama Jesus, take it Jesus, Mama
Everybody here to Holy Rosary Parish, and as everybody probably knows, Father Peter's been here for a much longer time than I have been. I've only been here for about a year, so I went to him to find out where the altar wine was, the keys, all those kinds of things. So he is the one who showed me around the place, so I thank you for that. But he's asked me to start our celebration here with a prayer of grace, so we'll take a moment to pray. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. God our Father, today is a thankful day. We thank you for the blessings of your church, the people of the church, and the people who produce priests for the church and religious for the church. Keep us strong in our faith. Help us always to love you, our Lord and God. And we ask you bless this food which you're about to receive from your bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. I'll have the microphone. Father, you mind if I make my remarks now? That'd be great. You don't have a choice. I'm going to do it anyway. So there's a story that I heard about Father Peter when I first came here. Father Peter first arrived in this neighborhood to be chaplain at the medical center. He wanted to write a letter to send it back home to tell people how he was doing here in the States. So I wrote the letter, and he's wandering around looking for the post office. He can't find it. So he stops a little kid on the way and asks the little kid if he could direct him to the post office here in Hawthorne. So the youngster showed him how to get there on West Street. And then Father Peter said, listen, I'm new here, and I'll be saying Sunday Mass at Holy Rosary. Why don't you come to Mass this Sunday, and I'll show you how to get to heaven. And the little boy said, Father, how can you do that when you can't even find the post office? But I want to thank Father, as he mentioned, he's been a great assistance to here at Holy Rosary, not just on the weekends, but whenever we have a conflict of a number of things, he always just jumps right in, never says no. So I want to thank him for his great generosity to Holy Rosary Parish, which is reflected here now with all the people here that he has been generous to over the years. So I just want to thank everybody for your wonderful support here today. And God bless all.
There's some people here, so hang with us. We're going to go quickly, but many of us don't know each other. So if we do call your name, please just wave, and that'd be great. All right, first I'd like to acknowledge and introduce the very Reverend Father John Vigilante.
Not here.
Not here, so we're going to go on. All right, next I'd like to introduce the very Reverend Father Benny, I apologize, it's Hexter. Hitta, is he here? Okay, great, going on. Next.
I think basically what we have to do is to recognize, like we've done before, the presence of everyone. When we start going through the names, we might miss some names. Everyone in here is very important, and it's really, really important. We are really grateful that you could rearrange your schedule to be here. We know that we have Nigeria Igbo Catholic community right from the Bronx. If you're here, please shout, Otudadine Jeso. All right. We have Nigeria Igbo Catholic community also in the Bronx, ICC. If you're here, please shout, Otudadine Jeso. All right. We have people, parishioners of the Holy Rosary. Where we are, say hi wherever you are. All right, thank you. There are so many people to recognize here. We have staff, nurses, doctors, staff of Westchester Medical Center also in the house. If you're here, please shout hi. All right. Now, the list is so long, and we really want to thank you for being here, taking the time out to come. So we're going to move to the next program. And the next program doesn't understand English. We apologize. We have to break the kola nuts. For those of us who have the program, it is a presentation of the kola nuts. And this is the time we call on the custodian of Igbo culture. I'm sure you guys are looking around and see all the beautiful ladies we have here with their canopies, right? And you're wondering, what are all these canopies? Like this is Chief Ajunwa. Look at him. He represents the traditional people from Nigeria. He's a high chief, right? He's almost like the founder of Nikon. Right? Can you imagine? He started Nigeria. He's one of the founders of Nigeria Igbo Catholic community up in the Bronx. And when he works, I hold on to his coattail to see what I can learn. So, I would like to call on His Royal Highness. His Royal Highness, in almost every occasion, he's there, because he has a big role to play. He looks young, but he holds tremendous power in his community. Right here in the Bronx, right there in the Bronx, and wherever we are, we have to uphold our culture. And English will stop now. So, we are presenting Igbo, Mamanyo. Igbo Keleno. Igbo Mono. Igbo Bakano. My fellow Americans, hi. Yes. Yes, before I go to my briefly, we are with Father Peter. He is from Ogbe in Ahiazo, Mbiso, in Imo State, Nigeria. West Africa. Yes. And we are representing him here right now. I am representing not only the Igbo community. I am representing the traditional ruler of Ogbe in Ayazi. All the Mbiso traditional rulers are being represented by myself and these chiefs. And I know I have a lot of chiefs here from Igbo land. I know Chief Ohakamno is there, and Abune is there. Normally we have to do the traditional kola nut breaking. Kola nut understands English. It understands, but it doesn't speak English. Yes.
It speaks Igbo.
Speaks only Igbo, but it understands English. So please bear with us. As I finish, now I will go down to our traditional language. And the priests here, they are all ordained. Their hands are inside this kola nut. This kola nut belongs to tradition, our Igbo tradition. And Chief Ehio and Chief Anekweku and Ashemole, they are here with others sitting. We are all representing. Igbo bring you, America nọrọ you, ụwa niile, ihe n'ụwa ọjị, ashịnya dịrị ọnụ na mma o, ụkwụ ọma unu jiri bịa ebe aka unu ga-eji ala o, usu mmụọ agaghị esi unu, usu mmadụ agaghị esi unu o, nwanne anyị nwoke o fada o, ọ ga-ejere obodo lara obodo, usu mmụọ agaghị esi, usu mmadụ agaghị esi, ihe ọjọọ na-eme n'ihu ọ nọ n'azụ, na-eme n'azụ ọ nọ n'ihu. As ndị niile bịara ebe a, ndị fada, ndị sista, ndị niile chiri echi n'ala Igbo, ya dịrị unu na mma o, ụkwụ ọma unu jiri bịa obodo aka unu ga-eji ala, unu ga-akọta, anyị ga-akọta, onye ọbụla ga-akọta, anyị nwere be, anyị wụ ndị Igbo. Njirimara ndị Igbo wụ eje ayọ wụ ụzọ ije, ya dịrị ndị Igbo na mma. Obodo anyị bịakwara na ndị ahụ anyị ọkụ, asị ndị Amerịka, ya dịrị unu na mma o. Unu ga-adịrị anyị, anyị si ihe anyị ga-eri nya jikwa elu n'ala, ihe ga-eri anyị agbafukwe n'aha Jizọs. Udo dịrị ọnụ, udo dịrị ọnụ. I'm going to be looking for Reverend Father Peter to please come and handle this part, because it's not easy. When we come here, we do all we can to get what we can, just like everyone. And I think you've accomplished your doctorate. You've piled it higher and deeper. And now it's coming out in form of a book, right? So please, go ahead.
Thank you. I want to thank the MC, thank SND for founder Gorani. As you heard from the MC, there's a book I was supposed to present today and do a book signing. Unfortunately, our publishers are disappointed with publication. I will call Mr. Dominic Forte. Dominic Forte is a very good friend of mine, a retired teacher, a journalist, and author of many books. Dominic Forte has a wide knowledge in every subject. He's also an artist, a musician. He has his own band. He played on one of my fundraisers of Medora and Shepherds, which is a clean water organization that I have that helps to bring clean water in rural communities in back home in Nigeria, especially in the south, and the southeast. So I now invite Mr. Forte to please come and do the presentation. Thank you. Can we give him a round of applause, please? Structure of society. And in my studies in psychology and humanities in general and mental health, I have come to realize what family is all about, as foundation of which, if it's not properly laid, the society itself won't be a good place. And the core of this book is on parenting. Parenting is the key. Where we say today we don't have priests, we don't have nuns, our Catholic schools are closed. If the child is gone and that child is not properly raised, we will continue to lack a lot in the society. With that brief, I will now hand over to Mr. Daniel Forte. Thank you.
Thank you, Father. It's a very interesting story, or maybe it's not, I don't know, but I found it interesting. About 7 years ago, Father was doing his doctorate, and he's writing this thesis, and he knew that I was an English teacher, and he asked me if I'd help him with the editing. So I think like 3 years later, we were still editing it. And he deserves a lot of credit because when he was going for his doctorate, he had a very difficult, what would you call her, a mentor? That was, he had to report to it. He had to submit his material, and then she would trash it, and he'd have to redo it, and then I'd have to edit it, and he'd resubmit it, and she'd trash it again, and then he'd redo it, and then I'd re-edit it, and this like went on for about 3 years, right? Would you say? And but don't worry, I was well paid, right? The benefits are good. But Father stuck to it, and I was happy to help him. I got to admit to you, a lot of the stuff I was editing, I didn't know what the heck he was talking about. But I learned. It was a learning experience for me. So I'm very happy that after another 4 years, Father finally made contact with the publisher, and I would say this book will probably be out in time for Christmas. Wouldn't you say, Father? And it'll make a great Christmas present, very reasonable. You'll be able to read it online through, what do they call that? Through Amazon and Kindle. And you'll see that Father, has really devoted an awful lot of his ministry, not just to being a priest, but he's diversified into family therapy. And he understands family therapy, and people that have come to him for help have got a lot of help and support, and he's really doing the work of the Lord. So I would recommend that if you get a chance, try and get a hold of this book, especially if you're a young parent, and or myself, like I learned all the things that I was doing wrong, that I had done wrong. It's too late for that. But anyway, once again, we congratulate Father Peter, not only for his Silver Jubilee, but also for the fact that he is finally publishing his work, and he's going to be able to reach more and more people with the experience that he brought to his ministry. Thank you.
Please, if you haven't gotten the flyer, try to get a flyer. And if you would like to get a copy of the book, please give us your email.
I just also wanted to put in a plug for my new book, which will be out at the beginning of December. It's called In Search of Public Relations, and it's a book of probably mostly fiction, some non-fiction, but it's a book of short stories and tall tales. And how much do I owe you for that plug?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Give him a hand of applause. Another hand of applause. All right. Thank you. Yeah, time to eat now.
Table by table.
And with the Claver, we go. 50 years is coming. So here's the story. A reverend father was appointed to be in charge of the church. And then, when he got to the church, when he got to the town, he started going around to introduce himself to the parishioners, to would-be parishioners. getting to know them. So he visited one family, and then he knocked. He knocked and knocked. He believed that there was somebody in the house, but the person would not open. So he picked up his complimentary card and wrote at the back of it, Revelations 20. Revelations 3:20. He wrote it at the back, Revelations 3:20. Don't forget. And put it by the door and left. So that Sunday, at the end of the offertory procession, one of the ushers brought back that complimentary card, and at the back of it was written Genesis 3:10. So he looked at it. It was the same card he left in the house of a person that did not answer. So he put his Bible, he looked at Revelations 3:20. What did he say? Behold, I stand on the door and knock. If anyone answers, I will come in. And then he turned the card and looked at Genesis 3:10. He says, I heard your voice, but I was afraid because I was naked. All right? Right on the floor. They are the son and the daughter of the soil. Welcome. All right. This is a celebration, a happy event. Once in 25 years. Right behind, in front of Reverend Dr. Peter, is Reverend Father Juan Kemado, our parish priest, one of the priests in our church in the Bronx, in the house, all the way from the Bronx. Thank you. Thank you very much. That is our kind of music. Great. Oh, comment. She's the pillar of Nikon choir section in the Bronx. All right.
Nikon choir. Kwezono ono bondi eje jemba orole no mmekita mana before anya ga n'iru aga m enye microphone to onye isi ndị nne o nwere obere ihe ọ ga-akpọtọrọ ụnụ.
Praise the Lord. Praise the living God. Nikon kwenu. Nikon kwenu. We are here today because our priest is celebrating his 25th anniversary of priesthood. Odi Ofele is not easy. It wasn't an easy road, and we are praying for God to continue to lead him throughout his priesthood. I'm calling on Anne Omudiwe to come and sing for us.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. This is the day of joy. This is the day of joy, the day of joy, the day of joy. This is the day of joy, the day of joy, the day of joy. Hallelujah. This is the day
don't understand what we are saying, so I'm going to sing one in English. No, we will not think it. Father Peter lives for us today. Listen now, I hear we go. We go singing from the mouth, dancing, tripping, gayly stripping, pastry to our dear Father. But we can't express our love for you. Thank you for all your good works. All of us now are celebrating your lovely Jubilee now. Father, today is your day. May God bless you. We are happy, happy as you, to make it a joyful for you and for all. Give us a chance to make you merry. Father, we thank you for all the things you've done. We are happy, happy as you, to make it a happy day for you and for all. Give us a chance to make you merry. We wish you luck.
Thank you, Father, and God bless you.
Hallelujah. From Massachusetts, and is being made to your honor from Fidelis and Perpetua Chidoro. Please, if you're here, let's see.
In celebration of his 25th anniversary, Father Peter wanted to lead us on a pilgrimage to Fatima and Lourdes. So we're putting that together for next September. We're hoping to be leaving around September 15th next year. We'll be going across Spain, stopping at all those holy places in Spain, where St. Teresa of Avila was from, Ignatius of Loyola, all of these wonderful places in Spain, and winding up at the end in Lourdes in France. We were hoping to have a flyer ready for today, but that didn't happen. So, along with your registration for notification of when the book is out, please give us your email address, your mailing address. We'll make sure you get a flyer in time so you can join us on a pilgrimage from Fatima to...
All right. Thank you.
That was his way of telling me enough.
No. You have the floor if you...
Edema, anayarugo ka chimne edema, kurugeme chimne edema, magizuroke chimne edema, kurugeme ezi chimne edema, anagadugese chimne edema, kurugeme chimne edema. Amen and amen.
Lord. Praise the Lord. I am so glad that we are here today for our Reverend Father that is celebrating 25 years anniversary. It's not easy. It's not 5 years. It's not 5 days. It's not 5 months, but 25 years. We thank God for that. Before I continue, I'm going to hand the microphone to our Chief, Chief Ashamole, one of the directors in ICC. Thank you.
Good evening to everybody here. The friends of our brother, Father Peter, he's already blessed by God. Yes. At least looking into the hall here and also in the church, it was so crowded. That shows that he's a man of God and somebody blessed by God. And they have relations from various places outside Winchester. We are here as his hometown boys and girls from Igbo land, Nigeria. And we are here to represent him and also to showcase our culture, of which you guys saw when we presented the kola nuts. So we are more than this number that is here. We are so many. But you know, today is Sunday, people have functions from various places. So we are proud and we have a token presentation to make. And on behalf of Igbo Kali community, ICC in the Bronx, we do not hesitate to present this token to our brother, Father Peter. And may God bless you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Congratulations, 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 congratulations.
Told me things about Father Peter that I never knew. So I would love to hear any remarks that you guys would like. We'll turn the music down. Okay, he's not going to talk. And just stay right next to Father Peter. So I would love to hear maybe your personal story. If you have one, that would be great. So please take the time before we start the dancing. So, right. All right, so we still have coffee. We had a little problem with the coffee, but I think we're fixing it now. But also we have cake, and we will have the cake cutting ceremony.
Hey everybody, I'm one of the, I used to be a resident at Westchester Medical Center. I was in the anesthesiology program. I remember since like day one of my residency, you know, I always used to keep the church close. You know, throughout my medical career, the church really helped me throughout it all. Starting in med school, it was such a stressful time. And you know, one thing that I wanted to do was, how can I do this career without being so stressed out? So I was getting like a lot of worldly advice, but where I found the most purest guidance and advice was from the church. So I started to go into the church all the time. And throughout medical school, throughout my intern year, and when I was in residency, I landed under the care of Reverend Peter. And he really helped me out throughout all the trials and tribulations. And, you know, not just myself, but also my wife and my family. And, you know, I really owe a great debt of gratitude to, you know, the church first, first of all, but also Reverend Peter, you know, as you know, an extension of the church. in our hospital, and I'm truly grateful for the church and Reverend Peter, and I just want to wish him all the best and our utmost gratitude. God bless you.
That was wonderful. Anybody else would like to? Yes.
Angeli, and I'm from Cornwall, New York. And I want to say a very brief story about Father Peter. About, I don't know, 4 years ago, my little girl became impaled into a fence. And during that moment, I had Father Peter there present by coincidence. And he jumped over the fence where my daughter had been impaled onto and stood guard with me and many other people, firefighters, medical people, and other parishioners, as I held my daughter in my arms. I kept looking at him because I knew he was praying for us. I knew he was praying for my daughter. My daughter came from that accident, which could have been tragic, with no harm. And I am convinced to this day that it's because I knew that he was praying for my daughter and for us. And I will always love him for the strength he gave me at that moment. Just looking at him put us through that crisis. Thank you, Father Peter.
Can I say something?
Yes.
My name is Rose Marie, and as I often said to my cousin Kay, I'm really never alone because I'm always surrounded by angels. My son was in a horrible car accident. It's going to be 5 years this December. Freshman year of college, came home. We went out 2 hours, and I got a call. He was in Westchester Medical Center. They thought he lacerated the artery to his liver. And Father Peter appeared to me. And he held my hand and he held my son's hand, even though my son couldn't lift his hand. We held hands and we prayed. And my son's alive and well. And thank you, Father Peter.
I'm here to talk about Father Peter, and I'm very, very happy to talk about him today because it's a very fine coincidence that I'm here today. Father Peter and I went to seminary together. You know, we went to seminary school together. We took the exam the same day. We went to the same school. We started from, like, maybe you call it high school here, in a seminary school. And I'm not surprised what he really turned out to be. Even as little boys who could be running around stubborn at that time and all of that, Father Peter was very humble, very compassionate, very friendly. He was always the one to mend fences, you know, to bring us together. Even when we were little kids, poking each other and teasing each other and all of that. He wasn't involved in all of that. He was very prayerful, you know, and again, very, very smart. So, you know, I wasn't dumb, he knows that. So we used to kind of compete academically, but he was really on a very, very bright side. So I'm not surprised what I see him doing today. I'm very excited with my family to be here, and I thank God for where he's going, and I know he is still going higher and higher, and God will continue to bless him. In Jesus' name.
I'm the Director of Family Support at the Children's Hospital at Maria Ferrari. And I would like to say a few words about Father Peter. Father Peter, he's our chaplain throughout the medical center. We have a children's hospital, an adult hospital, and a psychiatric hospital. He serves all three areas. I think the first time I asked him to help was when my mother-in-law was in the hospital, and it actually was her birthday. So we went down for Mass on her birthday. But then Father Peter's been involved with some very difficult patients in the pediatric hospital, children that are very, very sick, and some that have died. He's very pastoral, he's very kind, and I speak Spanish, and he's spoken Spanish to our Spanish-speaking patients. Recently, we had a patient who really didn't want to see him. She's a 16-year-old girl from Guatemala, and she's dying. And she really did not want to speak to him about being confirmed. But she said that she lost the holy card that Father Peter had given her, which had an angel on it. So I felt like that was so powerful because she still wanted him to be involved, even though she doesn't have power over many things, but she can say yes or no to certain things. Father Peter, I'm very grateful you're at Maria Frere and the rest of the medical center, but I work at Maria Frere. We love you.
Thank you. So, anybody else would like to make a remark or two?
Hello. Bueno. Bueno. My name is, I don't know. Actually, my mother is from Imo, Owerri. I'm Igbo. My father is Hausa from Kaduna. The first time we met with Peter, I couldn't believe that Peter was my brother. So when he later asked me, who are you? I said, I'm Vincent, but I'm Hassan. Chukunonso. He said, how can Chukunonso and Hassan come together? How can darkness and light come together? You know, how can a Muslim be a Christian? So I told him, no, my mother is from the east and my father is from the north. And so it's possible for the two to work together. So since then, Peter said, oh, so you are my brother? I said, yeah, I'm your brother. And so since then, he took me and brought me close to himself. Of course, one thing you have to understand, Nigerians, when we meet, we don't think of Igbo, East, West, or what. We just carry each other and support each other. And practically speaking, Peter came and I was transferred to Montefiore Hospital. And so since then, I've been working there, and Father Peter is here. And he has been a great, tremendous father, brother, friend to me. I've been visiting him all the way from the Bronx. And I come, he will make sure he will cook food for me to eat, he will make tea. In fact, I told him I don't want to eat too much because I don't want to be too tall. So he's so very, very nice, so good. What a wonderful man. You are not only a priest, you are a father, you are a friend. 25 years is not 25 days. I look forward to catch up with you someday. God bless you, Father Peter. And we are very grateful to have very good pastors. When you have good pastors around who guide you and support you, it makes a difference. So his pastor, I don't know his name right now, but I know he's a wonderful, wonderful man. We are very grateful to have him. And Father Peter, thank you for making us proud. Thank you for making Nigeria proud. Thank you for making Africa proud. And I respect your humility. He's a PhD holder, a doctor, but you hardly know it. Just quiet and easy. Keep it up. God bless you. Ibo kwenu? 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 Yeah.
My name's Jerry. I come from Cornwall, New York, where Father Peter was the pastor at St. Thomas, which is now St. Thomas and St. Joseph. One of the things I just thought you might like to hear about Father Peter, who also is very, very modest, is that we have the Knights of Columbus organization, and I was Grand Knight of the Knights of Columbus, and Father Peter was our chaplain. And I wanted just to let you know, Father Peter, not only is he a pastor, a scholar, an academic, he's a very busy man, and yet he still had time to become the pastor, our chaplain in the Knights of Columbus, where we were able to do many wonderful things, and I am sure that it was his spirit and guidance that allowed us to do it. Thank you, Father Peter.
I'm from New York. My husband and I are from New York, but My mother was a convalescent in Cornwall and in Newburgh at St. Luke's for many years. And Father Peter was the chaplain. And the day she passed away, the morning that she passed away, we went down to Sacred Heart to the chapel just to pray. The church was dark. And of course we thought Father Peter was making the rounds at that hour. But he appeared. He appeared and served us Mass, just the two of us in the chapel. And I'm just in awe of how God brings people together, because at the table, we were sitting next to a man and his daughter on their 51st wedding anniversary. 3 days before their 51st wedding anniversary, their mother died. And Father Peter led them through the necessary spiritual support. And it's just so beautiful. We're so thankful for him and Holders.
I'm from Newburgh, and my name is Vincent Odok, Dr. Vincent Odok. And my first encounter with Father Peter was when I was in the hospital. I had a surgery in the hospital. And I was lying there, I heard someone tap me on my shoulder. Turn around, that was Father Peter. He held my hand, we prayed, and after that, we became very good friends. And in fact, Father Peter is someone who is very spiritual, inspirational, and academic leader, spiritual leader. And I'm glad God has given me that opportunity to meet with him, and we became friends right from 2010, and we're still friends. Thank you.
The functions of the work of I just want to get
And I said, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, at Amen, you will cut the cake. So, sister, put your hand there. Put your hand there. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, Amen.